Oh, g'day, Jamie's. How the flipping heck are you? What's going on? Anyone here? I was just tracking down a problem on this Line 6 DT25. Now, I've had a few of these. Line freaking 6 DT freaking 25, I should say. Now, I've had a few of these, which basically their problems were mainly around the output section. So there's switching on the output valves for pentode/triode operation, and that's switched by relays, not a ka-chunk switch like it should be. And the relays, in my opinion, are somewhat underrated. And there's also 2 relays for Class A, B, Class A, not Class A. It's fucking marketing. But Class A, B, fixed bias, or cathode bias. So, yeah. Whenever a manufacturer says Class A, it's 99.995% of the time it's bullshit, and they just mean cathode bias. So anyway, think about how you switch cathode bias, right? You switch it. You've got to switch the bias supply on and off to the grids, and you've also got to switch the cathode in and out with a high power resistor for the cathode biasing. So you've got a large amount of current there, and you've got a very critical voltage. And if either of them go wrong, you can cook your output stage in a flash. This was just after a quick routine repair on a that Ashton? No, Laney TF300, and it had a intermittent bias pot, so all of a sudden, no signal, but looked at the wall and it was drawing about 230 watts. Whoa! You shut it down quick, smart. And then, yeah, found out the bias pot needed cleaning. It was okay after that, cleaning and cycling. The bias pot, like any other pot, can get scratchier when it's the only thing stopping the transistors from conducting each other into oblivion and a tug of war between the 2 power rails. Yeah, things can go south pretty quickly, but luckily I just happened to be looking at the power monitor on the wall at that time and shut it down. So we got that back in the box, and the reverb tank is on its way for that one. That was the other issue. And other than that, it's sounding good. Thomas, is that how you pronounce it? Thomas? Watching while sitting on the train to work. Well, it's everyone's on the way home from work here at the moment, because it's, well, I was going to start at 5 p.m, but it's like 7 minutes to 5. Top of the afternoon. How you going, mate? What's happening? 7 a.m? No, Scotty, no. It's almost 5 p.m. It's knockoff time, but I was supposed to be closed today, but I've got so much in the queue I have to come in 7 days. So, yay. I think I see the problem. The board's upside down. Is it upside down from your view? Oh, yeah. So I'm looking at it on the camera, but I've forgotten that I've rotated the view 180 degrees. So, yeah. So on this one, normally, as I say, the problem is involved with the output section. So let's just show you that. Massive schematic. Huge, in it. Can you see that all right? So you got all your different power rails. Here's your power amp. I'm just going to do the zoom in, zoom outy thing. So you see there's 2 relays here. Normally one of these fucks up, or that one gets stuck because it's dealing with a fair bit of current. So what happens is these are supposed to switch exactly the same time. And at the moment, see the contacts? They're shown in their resting state, or one of the states. Like, these aren't just random symbols showing a relay. They're actually showing the state that they're in conjunction with each other. So say that's normally closed, that'll be in that position. So relay 4B, relay 4C. Separate contacts in the same relay, so that's cool. And then down here you got relay 3, B and C, and A is the coil. You'll find that somewhere else. There's also another one over here, cut switch. So that's like a cut control on on a like a AC30, but preset to a certain level. So you've got the 82 ohm resistor there, and then a cap there. So that's like the pot being preset to a certain value, and they've just paralleled those two. That's another thing you can do for redundancy and for low to reduce the amount of popping. Like switch bouncing, you can just parallel two relays, and it just you think about the bouncing, it's not going to be exactly the same on either one, so it does reduce it a little bit depending on the application. But yeah, the two ones we're concerned with here is this Class AB/Class A1 and this Class AB/Class A1. Ignore the Class A. Class AB fixed bias, cathode bias, right? So at the moment it's showing the bias supply there, so that's the negative voltage feeding in via these two 220k resistors into the grids, and here it's showing the cathodes via the current sense resistors, but ignore them, they're just there to be able to get a reading on how many milliamps the cathode is passing, and that's connected directly to ground. There is another relay over here, mute output, and all that does is cut the cathode off, but you can ignore that for now. All that does was just literally remove the ground from the cathode, and therefore no current and no speaky. So what happens if this is stuck in this position, Class AB, and then this switch over here switches to the cathode bias, so grounded. Now you've got no bias supply, so they're just going to draw as much current as they can, and you blow stuff up. In the other case, what happens if you're in cathode bias, or as it's written here, Class A mode, and you've got, it's odd that they got that resistor there, but anyway, you've got your bypass cap and your 125 ohm 10 watt resistor there, but you've also got a bias supply. Well, then it's going to be a muted output stage. It's going to be very cold biased, and it's going to sound like arse. So it either sounds like arse or it blows up. Yay. But in this particular case, nothing wrong with that area. I've given the bloke an option. Well, I assumed that was the issue. So I gave him an option to fix it to either cathode biased or fixed bias. Then he chose to fix it to fixed bias. So we'll remove those relays and we'll hardwire them in the positions that they're shown on this schematic. So we'll mitigate, because every one of these that's come in so far has had an issue with this area, and it's got burnt out components in the area and burnt out valves. So we'll do that preemptively. But this thing was passing no bloody signal at all. I'm just going to check chat, and everything's going all right. What an nice I don't know. Tell me if the stuff I'm saying makes sense and you can hear it and understand it. Hi, Mom. So yeah, the issue wasn't with that because I plugged into the input, no signal at all. No signal coming out of the effects send. Plugged into the effects term, which should go straight to the power amp. No signal coming out of that. Literally no signs of life at all, other than all the switches and everything working. It's pretty rare that you get absolutely nothing out of a valve amp. However, a lot of the time when that occurs, it's part to do with the solid state circuitry, and one of the rails has dropped. Flesh 84, that's me. Tone aside, what should someone look for in a well-built amp? Logical layout, easy to identify access parts and quality parts. Probably the first thing, before you even need to look or do anything with the guts, see if you can find a schematic. If there's documentation out there for the amp, you've got a much higher chance of an economical repair should anything go wrong. But just ask techs. Just tell a tech, I want an amp for this style that has these features, and the techs have seen it all. And they'll steer you away from potential pitfalls and maybe suggest a model that's good for you. And you won't buy it, you'll buy the cheap one, it'll blow up, and then they'll get the shits at you. That's how it usually happens. Mad techie, how you going, champ? Hard to pronounce it properly for foreigners. The S at the end is sh, Tamash. It's hard to describe how you pronounce A. I don't know. Maybe send me a video of you saying it. Oh my god, is that keyboard cat reference on the board? What? Nice, I found a keyboard cat. Keyboard cat? I've got no idea what you're talking about, Alan. Anyway, carry on we shall. So, the next thing I did was measure a couple of op amp rails, because the output stage was conducting and everything was switching and the biasing was changing as it should. And everything looked hunky-dory and all the power consumption and voltages were what I should expect. And I was able to, because it's really hard to run this thing without it all being together, because it's got a lunchbox type, fully enclosed construction. So this is where the bias probes come in handy, because I couldn't access any wires while it was, any contacts while it was all together. I could chuck these in and just check that our output stage was functioning by using the ammeter and these silicon leads. These are some Novel ammeter probes which I built a while ago. I think I took these off the market. They were on my website, but this bottom disc I'm not happy with. I want it to be smaller. And I'm going to use a different type of valve socket so I can get the thing smaller than the base of an EL84. And when I do that, I'll put them up for sale, but they are somewhat dangerous. So I'm going to find some safety plugs before I commit to that. So when I say safety plugs, I mean these kind of things that you can only use with a multimeter with shrouds on them. Just a bit safer, because if you forget to plug them in, or one of them pulls out, both of them will have, well, one of them will have full plate voltage on it. So a bit of a liability there from me selling them. But they're perfect for amps like this and the auto bias stuff, and just tiny lunchbox amps that you can't operate while they're apart. Like some of the Black Star amps where they've got a externally mountable, externally accessible bias trim pot, and this one's got that as well. Looks like a run over cat. Is bored or me? Asked Sonic Audio about diesels yesterday. Both of you said, I did see your comment. Can you expand on why? Is it the layout cheap parts? It is the construction technique. They are the most crackhead built amps I've ever fucking seen in my life. Specifically the VH4. I've seen the Diezel Herbert and it was very impressive. I like that Diezel Herbert. I thought it was great. But the VH4, my God, it looks like someone on a meth binge built that fucker. So they've designed a whole circuit board, right? And it's okay if you call me Tommy. Okay, Tommy. So they've designed a full-on circuit board, and then they've abandoned the circuit board, and then just built all the fucking circuits above the circuit board, floating in midair, point-to-point construction with like tack soldering. It's got me fucked. Why? I have no idea why. And then as soon as I flagged it and go, what the hell is going on here? And you could see the original solder pads were never used because they still had the gold plating. And once you tin a gold plated contact, that solder's not coming back off. It's always going to be silver. That's not correct, Scott. Lyle doesn't hate everything that isn't vintage, Fox, Fender, or Marshall. You're talking out your ass there. You either don't listen to him properly or you're selectively listening to him. So yeah, I've got no idea why they built it all up in midair. They have lots of tack soldered heavy components in the power supply, like bridge rectifiers and stuff, which have massive capacitors tack soldered on them. I've found crack solder joints on them. They sound fantastic. But yeah, I'm just trying to remember what went wrong with the ones that I've had in. Let me just look up the job sheets. I might be able to find it. I before E, except after D. Vintage Vox amps are built like garbage. I agree, Scotty. They're a fucking pain in the ass to work on. Time sinks. V1. Okay, so there was only a V1 cathode resistor replaced. And installed correctly. Okay, so it was one floating up in midair. Yeah, I believe it was cracked solder joints that caused that last VH4 to come in for repair. I'll just see if I can find some photos. Shit, where did I put them? I'm afraid they might be on a Facebook post. When I was asking my mates about them. And why they're built so weirdly. No one seemed to have a definitive answer. There I am. I'll just download a bunch of photos and show you why I don't like them. You know, if it didn't cost $1 million to buy the fucking things, then all of this would be addressable. But how much are they worth? 8 grand? They're just incredibly amateur type build, given what they're asking for them. I just have no idea why you design a PCB and then not use it. It's insane to me, but I'm not a legendary amplifier manufacturer, so what the fuck do I know, I guess. I go through this every couple of days, but then you've also got to wonder, why are they coming to me for repair as well? But then all the people go, I've had one, I own 500 of them, and not one of them's ever been other than perfect. Oh yeah, righto, bro. Thanks, bot. Alright, photos. Oh, dick pic. No, just joking. I have all my photo databases at home. This is my poor little laptop, which cops are pounding every time I do a live stream. So, yeah, all my NAS and everything at home is where I stockpile all my amp photos just for future reference. I really should catalog them somehow so I can go back and reference stuff to just show people things and whatever, who cares. See, this amplifier was built in 2024 and it had already failed, despite it being, what, $8,000? Do you need my expert? Do you need my expert advice again? Michelle asks. Yeah. Can you tell me how to clean pots? Because I did correct you on that. Do you remember what I said? Okay, where'd those photos go that I literally just downloaded? Sort by date. There we go. I'll put them in a folder so I don't forget where they are, because this might come up again. Documents. Pictures. New folder 06. Alright, so I'll just go full screen with that one. I'm really going out of my way for you there, Flesh84. Are you paying attention? You ready? Alright, so here's the cathodes on the output. You can see just tack soldering, but there is a gut load of solder there, so no biggie. You got the bridge rack down here, and you've got all these massive Weimer film caps, and you could have used little Y-class ceramics or something there just to for the suppression on the power supply, if even required. But you see here, it's like they designed the circuit board and they changed their mind about every fucking part of it. So instead of designing a new one, they just loaded components up in midair. Like, looks, and I confirmed that this is not modified. This is, not only did my customer buy this brand new from the shop, but all the other techs worldwide confirmed that they're all exactly like this. See, look at this soldering. Like, what's that? Wrap it around the fucking wire. If you're going to do a tack solder, at least give it some surface area. That's holding on by a square millimeter. And that's your bloody HT. Or one of the rails. I can't remember which. I think the HT was the one with the caps across it. Yeah, you just got all this stuff. Like, they've created these things up in mid. Just spin another board, bro. Like, why have you got all these empty footprints? You're using the board just to mount the valves and fuck all else. Insane. I just don't understand. Maybe I'm not enlightened, I guess. I'm just not enlightened. But you can see the work doesn't look good. There's flux everywhere. But yeah, again, someone will come out and tell me that this has been modified. Well, if it has, then why is the official dealer in Australia selling this as a new amp then? So someone's at fault, and it's not the customer. Like, look, why? Dead bugged relays. You've got fucking footprints for relays. Just spin a new board. But I don't know. Maybe they're magical. You got burns. Oh, is that a tactical tonality burn there? Is it? You can't get the magical tone pixies without having that burned ribbon cable. There's the date again. Like, you got a large mass component floating up in midair, being held up by two little fucking, or I think that's a terminal, but a quarter watt metal film resistor with its pissy leads. A large box cap. More dead bug shit. Tack soldered as well. Pins bent together. Probably compromised its hermetic sealing. As a result, you've got this crowded stuff down here. Don't know, just it doesn't strike me as the way to do business, eh? Well, this is your power power switch. Pass it through the fucking hole. What do you think it's there for? Right? I don't know if they're outsourcing or what. I'd like to know why, and I'd like to know why without a defensive, arrogant answer too. I'd like just an honest answer as to why the builds are like this. Justify yourself. Like, this is cut open. You can see the heat shrink there. This sharp tack soldered thing holding on by, again, at 2 square millimeters has cut open the heat shrink they put over it. So why put heat shrink there? Like, I don't know, man. Everything sucks. Everyone's an idiot. So yeah, just don't believe the hype, as they say. I wish I could see fail rate numbers. I don't care. I mean, just do it properly. I don't care if there's like 1 out of 5 fails or 1 out of 100 fails. Just do it properly. I mostly see them when they fail. Yeah, but there's still, you're just not getting past the fact that there's no excuse for building an amp like that when it's fucking $8,000. Like, there's no justification. I get all this weaselly reasoning from people all the time, but at the end of the day, you can't justify that shit. For high gain, you like Friedman? Yes. Bogner? Yes. Head first? Yes. What are my thoughts on Soldano? Incredibly well built. Friedman, Bogner, Head first, Soldano, Metropolis, Splawn, all fantastic options. Sound expensive, but you can pick up a Splawn for $3,000. You can pick up a Bogner for $2,000. Some of the lower powered Friedmans you can pick up for $2,500, $2,000 second hand, and you're set. The only thing you'll have to deal with is the occasional valve change, physical damage if you fucking drop it or whatever, or some of the Dave's amps had issues with the ARS branded caps, but he covers that. You ring him up, you say, "Where are you? I'll find a local tech, I'll fix you up," and he picks up the phone himself, or he answers the emails personally. Fry out, yeah, that's another good choice. I'm not. What am I saying? I'm saying the opposite. I don't mind angles too. Rivera's angles, I think, have a better metal tone. Some of the Rivera high gain stuff's a little bit flubby, but you can mod that out. But yeah, Freya's another good choice. There's a few. I think the power station, there was a couple of caps right hugging voltage regulators that like to fail as a result. But hey, it's a lot better than a whole amp that's prototyped on top of a circuit board. It's super weird. But yeah, Soldano is like the best, one of the best, if you like that tone. Because yeah, if we're talking, you said ignore tone, so we're talking purely from a build perspective. But there's other amps out there, really good ones. Smaller makers, you know, like I don't know where you are, Flesh. I keep thinking it's Flesh 84, but Two Rock early stuff is I'm not a big fan of. Bogner do some funny shit, but the build quality is up there. There's a couple of things they do that are a bit like, really, like fiber optic for the front panel with incandescent bulbs and stuff. switch mode power supplies for the heater that are super hard to get the right one. I know which one to get now, but some of them, even though all the specs are identical, had noise issues. They're injecting noise back into the mains, and that found its way into your signal. I believe Two Rock are pretty much world class now, but I think they had a few teething issues early on when they were still figuring stuff out. But yeah, from what I hear, they're really good now. If you're going for the Dumble thing too, there's Gel Wegan, I don't know how to say his name. Weganen amplification. He makes amazing stuff too. You got Rift amps. That's Chris in the UK. Dr. Z, I think good. I think they used to have a few amps on the shit list way back when, but I think they've picked up their game as well. Look, I have nothing but respect for amp builders that change their ways if they find something wrong. Or if people are flagging stuff. It's the guys that pretend like they're fucking infallible that shit me up the wall. Because they're doing a disservice to their customers and they're pissing off the local techs. Divided by 13, not a fan. I've only seen one of them though. And the particular model, it was 17/37 something. I forget the exact model number, but it was just bits and pieces of all sorts of different amp designs just sticky taped together, and nothing was playing nicely together. It was all just segments of circuits tacked together, and that made the schematic. I've got the schematic drawn somewhere. It's quite funny from a text point of view to look at it. Uberschall is good, yeah. Yeah, you spelt it right. I see a few umlauts missing there, but other than that. Oh yeah, Fuchs, Andy. Yeah, fuck. How can I forget Andy? So Andy's got the is it the Manta? Manta? I keep thinking it's the shrimp. Or is it Mantra? Yeah, Andy's got some solid state and some valve stuff. His ODH, I think, is the solid state class D thing that weighs fuck all. Sort of the same form factor as a Mark base head. But again, you can get Andy on the phone. He doesn't hesitate to help people. Oh, Monomyth, yeah, that's another great one. Wizards, yeah, Wizards are great, but fucking expensive. I just worked on a Wizard ARD. I didn't video that one because I didn't have time, but yeah, fantastic amps. Sounded awesome. Probably a bit too much bottom end with the cab that I had here. I'll probably tone that back a bit with the feedback loop, but other than that, perfect, really nice character to the overdrive. So you got Monomyth, you've got KSR, you've got if we're going back to like the production stuff, I don't mind Orange. I think Orange are okay for the money. Same with Vox. So current model Voxes above a certain price point are good. But then if you go into their hand-wired stuff, I don't think you really get what you're paying for either. So if you just stick with their stocky ones, the AC15C2, is it? And the AC30C2? I always forget the amount of Cs. G'day, Joe. How you going, champ? But yeah, like I say, Scotty, Lyle would pretty much back up all of this because we all sort of form an opinion together because we don't all see all amps worldwide all the same time. So we lean on each other a bit and trust each other's experience in order to form an opinion of what's good and what could use attention. Someone mentioned Victoria amps previously. I haven't seen any personally, but again, I'm relying on my US mates' experience with them. And they said it's basically just direct copies of Fenders, but well built. Yes, it does, Six. One step ahead of me, brother. You know what to look for. Good to see you here, mate. Flesh84, feeding me the US dollars. Feeding me the freedom bucks. Thanks, mate. I want a dang 2C plus, but I hear nothing bad. Really? But I hear nothing bad about Mesa. Do you mean the opposite? Does anyone nail the Mark sound that's actually made well? I mean, the Mark sound's just basically a Soldano. They're not that different. But the Mark sound, in my opinion, is nothing that fucking special, to be honest. In fact, it's quite fucking shit before you bring that EQ into it. Victoria amps suck. Oh, do they? Hang on, am I thinking Victory? I always get the two mixed up. Victoria. Hang on, no, Victoria are the Fender clones, right? 6? Are they just paint by numbers? I've heard they're actually not bad. The Recto is a Soldano. Oh, hang on, yeah, the Recto. Sorry, I'm fucking getting asked about. Metzababa looks awesome. Yeah, I've heard good things about them as well. I've never personally seen one. There's not many out here. The Recto is a Soldano, yeah. That's why it doesn't have the EQ, because it doesn't need it, because it's a bit more of a logical, architecture. Maybe not in its implementation. But yeah, I would stay away from all messes, Flash 84, because they are some of the worst construction in the world. But some of them are still surviving. 2C Plus is closer to an angle. The Fireball is basic. You know what? The Fireball does sound a bit like that, but this Fireball doesn't sound anywhere near as nasal. Oh, really? The cabinetry shit on Victoria's. Okay. I guess I have heard that they're okay from US guys. Maybe they were just tech, not looking at the cabinet. I don't know. I look at the whole package because I'm an ex-cabinet maker, but yeah, okay. There's also like, I'm a bit hesitant these days to just say this brand is shit, unless they've been doing the same thing for the last 20 years and they're still shit. I'll always give people room to improve. Give them the benefit of the doubt, but as long as they listen and fucking actually improve instead of just claiming guru status. Any amp with a fake heat fin tells you everything you need to know. Yeah, the heat sink on the back that's up the preamp end. They don't need it because they run them. They come from the factory at like 15% dissipation. They're barely switched on. But anyway, so this board. The next problem I had after, well, the only problem I had, other than the stuff that will fail because it always does on these, is the I tracked it down to. Well, okay, just to recap, literally. There's a, there was no signal when I plugged into the input of the amp. There was no signal when I plugged into the effects loop input. So that, the effects loop return. So that feeds into one op amp stage and then into the phase inverter. So I'll show you that now. Alrighty then. So there's a few unpopulated components here that you can ignore. I'll show you which ones. So this is from the effects return, right? Comes in here, you got a buffer. Well, it's not a buffer, it's got gain, sorry. It's a gain stage with an op amp. And then it feeds up here. Feeds up here to the input of the phase inverter. Ignore this socket here, it's not populated. Might be for testing purposes or something. I don't know. So that's the input of the phase inverter. When I pulled out the phase inverter, there was a pop. When I probed the phase inverter anodes, there was a pop. And the output stage was conducting and the relays were switching as they should. So the only thing in the path between my guitar plugging into the effects return and the output stage is this op amp. So I measured the rails. We should have approximately plus minus 8 volts. There was minus 8 volts, 7.99, but there was no plus 8. And then I went, since we didn't have output on the effects loop send, because I plugged that into my other amp, that led me to believe the whole front end wasn't working. And we can find the front end. Where is it? Big schematic. Presence pot, AC entry, guitar input. All right, so there's your input jack. Got a spark gap there for static mitigation. You got a cap across the input for RFI mitigation. And you've got some limiting diodes there, just so you don't damage the op amp. They'll go short circuit if there's anything massive, but they'll stop any excessive signals from going in and damaging this op amp. So even this op amp here was only like +1 or plus 0.8 volts or something, but -8 volts. It's like plus a couple of 100 millivolts. So that was in essentially cut off, and nothing was making it through even from the input. So we had everything stacked up against us. However, back up to the power supplies, wherever they are. There we go. However, we had 8 volts stable here, and the regulator was working as it should. But illogically, between this point and this point, we had the big voltage drop. Now I measured this resistor here, so this feeds into here. Then it's got a resistor, basically isolating, giving local filtering for the guitar input. Sorry, hiccups. So yeah, these resistors were within tolerance passively, but we had a massive voltage drop, and it was all due to the circuit board, and it wasn't visible to the naked eye. So the mains, sorry about, I've got my multimeter fart. Flash84 feeding me for more freedom bucks. You made of money, mate. Thank you. Maybe channels like yours will change the way amps are reviewed. Instead of guitar players just saying it sounds good, you'd think the famous guys would have techs that steer them away from crap gear. Well, they do. The famous guys do have techs that steer them away from crap gear, or make that crap gear not so crap. If they have, see the way it works, and this isn't me being cynical either, this is literally the way it works. They sign a sponsorship, they get free shit, they get paid to use that stuff as well and be in photo shoots with it, use it on tour, show it on stage, logo up front, they get paid for that shit, right? If it's a half decent brand like Fender or something, say, I don't know, like, say for example they use a Fender DeVille, right? Or like George Benson using his signature hot rod or blues deluxe or whatever with the grey sort of cover on it. His tech would already know about all the bullshit in that amp. They'd send him a factory one, his tech would go over and roadproof it or roadworthy it. That would be the one he takes on tour, or he'd probably have multiple. He'd have backups. He's probably going on tour with 4 of them, all of which have been road hardened by his favorite tech. So what he's playing on stage night in after night, not only is it getting daily maintenance, very expensive for the average person, it's also been road hardened. And that's if they use the actual amp. Sometimes they just pose in a photo with it and they never use the fucking thing. Or they do what old mate Bonamassa does. He gets a signature amp, or it says, signs some sponsorship to be in an ad with him, buys one amp, puts it in his closet, maybe plays it for 5 minutes and never plays it again because he just collects them. People don't want to believe that, so they don't believe that. They believe what they want to believe. And they think, instead of practicing and buying a metronome, and paying attention to technique, they think they can fix their shortcomings as a player by throwing money at the problem and buying the same amp as their hero supposedly uses. Whereas they do a lot better if they just practiced. But the manufacturers know that. It's like selling camera lenses. They can sell millions of camera lenses because they think, oh, I'll just get this lens and then I'll be so much better. And you get the lens and then you lie to yourself that it's so much better. You know that it's really not, and then the lens probably goes in the cupboard after that. You probably barely use it, right? Or you sell it second hand, but either way the company still sold the lens. So that's kind of the way it works. hate to burst your bubble, but yeah. Dick says, I made Yamaha aware of leaking caps that are happening on the Line 6 boards about 10 years back, happening on a lot of, well, this is probably still, yeah, from that era. Happening on a lot of gear, including Korg and Roland. The new cap plague is upon us. Oh, money for us. If they don't listen to us and just buy the cheapest caps around, well, fuck, what are we going to do? We gave them every chance they have to fix their ways. That's a gassy meter, yeah. Don't worry about Brad. He doesn't wear eye protection. For what? Soldering? Come on, man. Cork and rolling gear from the early 90s through mid 2000s. I did do a lot of synth and audio gear that the job is just rip them all off, replace them, unit works, yeah. Old motherboards, yeah. I remember fixing my old video cards from back in the day when I was still in friggin' school. They were fucking up back then. I can guarantee there are famous guys who get completely offended by any suggestions made by their tech. Neil Schoen immediately comes to mind. He was in a nightmare to work for. I don't know who that is, but I'll take your word for it. Look at the legs of the electrolytic caps. They're yellowish, dull or grey, black or green. They need replacement. C140 looks bad. Well, you know, guess what? That's the exact one we're looking at, bro. You picked it like a dirty nose. Scotty, you know your shit, though. So this rail down here is our +8 on the connector. Goes to the guitar input. It goes via, let's go to continuity. It goes to this cap here. That's that 100 microfarad. From that cap, it goes to this resistor. Sorry, just getting a good connection. From that resistor, it's only a 22 ohms, so it'll give us continuity as well. Yep. From that resistor, there's also this via over here. Yep. And on the other side of this, cap here, passes. You can see it passes directly under here. We go down, we touch the pad. Got nothing, bro. No continuity. If I set that to ohms instead of continuity, which cuts off at 200 ohms or something, we've got about 3.94k. So that's what was allowing a bit of voltage to leak through. Now, if I spike through the solder mask here, go back to continuity. We've got continuity again. So that track is okay all the way around here under that resistor and in, onto that header. But this cap is leaked onto that big fat trace and it's eaten through it. Even that big fat trace as it is. So our problem lies under here, but it also lies under every other fucking cap on this board because there seems to be about 20% of them are all starting to go the same way. Twist the cap. Yes, 6, except we've already got some damage under here, so I just want to be a bit more gentle than that. Just in this case, normally twisting them off is okay, but I've got my tweezers here ready to go, so I'm just going to use them. You get the stinky, horrible... oh, hang on. Soldering iron's off. You get the horrible, stinky smell, so I'll put the BOFA on. You'll see the leakage. Every cap on the board needs replacing. I can see half a dozen that are leaking. Yeah, they are. But yeah, there are some that aren't too, but I'll be replacing them anyway. 6. Fucking pain in the ass, man. I didn't quote for this shit. I'm just going to decline all these amps from now on. No more DT25s. They all belong in the trash. Heat connector. Alright, well fucking twist it off then. I know you're an advocate for it, but I've had a few busted pads from doing it recently, so I'm a bit cautious. Yeah. And we ripped the pad. Thanks, 6. Thanks, 6. I did press down. Now we've lost that left-hand pad, so we've got a VIA under that. So we're going to have to run wire through the VIA. The pad was already fucked anyway, probably, chances are. Oh, helps if you turn the BOFA on, eh? I did push into the board and I've lost multiple pads. Sorry, man. I don't know what to tell you. It fucking sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. I know you don't believe me. I know I'm talking to a brick wall. So just end the conversation there, please. That one came off fine with the heated tweezers. All right. Let's let that soak in for a bit and see what we're dealing with. Yeah, the pad was already probably fucked, but yeah. You can see this one's starting to go as well, but not as bad. I want to get rid of that blob of solder. Flash! Can you explain to a dumb guy what goes into voicing an amp? What are the main parts that determine the voice? Everything. Within reason. So there's probably better resources than me talking while I'm working. So have a look at Rob Robinette's page. Have you seen that one yet, Flesh? Yeah, I was trying to demonstrate with the angle of the dangle. I was trying to demonstrate on camera what I was doing, whereas you'd just see my forearm if I didn't do that. So yeah, all of this is recoverable. I've got some really thin Kynar wire there. So we can lay down some new pretty much recreate traces, and then we've got let me just bring that exposure up a bit. And then we've got conformal coating. Oh, I'm already at max, right. Okay, I need to go up in the ISO a little. About 1,000, looks about right. Surface mount is okay with the correct tools, yeah. There's a section on, yeah, let me just find that, because I don't think the average bear can post. Rob. And voicing. There we go. Read this long ass article. It's not that long. Only a couple. It's only A4 page, something of text, and then a whole bunch of options. Yeah, check this article out, and this will give you a bit more of an idea of what's involved in voicing an amp. So there's this gain structure, there's EQ throughout the amp, there's the response to the power supply, there's everything all working together to form the character of an amp. When we say voicing, it's just like a generic word for how it sounds, and changing how it sounds. So you can see we've fully eaten through. There's not much left on that pad at all, and that's actually one of the most advanced corrosion pads I've seen. Normally they look like this one over here, like the outline's still intact, but you can see this has started eating itself from the outside in. And that one's fully gone. So what I've got to do is find the VO on this side. Probably the one... some of them are not tented, filled, plugged. Some aren't. So hopefully we can get into one that's not. Oh, ass is numb. Thank you, chair. That's just ground though, so we can find a nearby ground and run it to that. It's not the end of the world if we can't get it in that via. She's not going all the way through, but I reckon I've got enough there. It is going halfway through the board. If I scratch off that copper and just connect it to that via and create a little loop, that will work like a pad. So I think that's two individual traces. Just have a closer look with the loop. Yeah, okay, so that's two individual traces, but we can still do a little U, maybe a couple of passes. we go down, just like your mum. Get a little brush. This is a Black Star board. No, pretty close to it. Black Star's actually a few steps up from this one. This is a Line 6 Bogner bloody design nightmare. All right, we're passing into the via. Come on. Solder's not taking. Why not 4? Taking on the other one. There's still a bit of solder mask on it, maybe. Oh no, there it goes. All right, sweet. Yep, 2 sets of tweezers. See if I can pass that over without it flying away. Sometimes you do stuff like this and it just fucking disappears. I need some finer tweezers, I think. Yep, just disappeared. Just like I said. It sticks to the tip and there it goes. You try and hold it down, but I think I'll have to approach it from the other side. Let's try that again. Oh, almost went to put my solder in there. Dumbass! Probably should have had lunch if I'm going to do shit like this. Let's hold that down. Let's see if I can approach from under that regulator. Nope. I'll have to approach from this side. Try that again. Sticks to the tip. I did indeed say that, Alex. You're learning well. Ah, grasshopper. Soon you will make joke out of everything. All right. All right, let's think a bit more about how we hold this down this time. I'm going to go in from this side. All right, that's better. Of course, we're going to have to be very careful when we approach that to do it, to place the thing. Don't you have any solder mask? Yeah, I'm going to do that, but I'm trying to do it quickly, Scotty. I'm trying to do it, and because that stuff takes time to set. I don't have the UV setting stuff. I should get some of that. All right, we should have a connection to ground, the audio ground to that thing now. And just check that via's not corroded. The other thing that can happen is vias get shit down them and then they corrode. No, I've got a connection. Oh, hiccups. Got a connection to ground there. Sweet as bro. Sweet as bro. So, do that 500 more times, and then we've got a usable board. Hopefully not. Kind of want to put it through the ultrasonic, though. We'll do that afterwards. So, I need to take note of what caps I need. So, I'm not going to do this one tonight, because I probably need to order all the caps, yeah? So they are 10 volt. They were both the same. 10 volt, 10 microfarad, 16 volt. So we've got like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of them. Just in that value. And then the ones down there are 25 volt because they're pre-reg. Kind of need to charge by the cap, to be honest, Alex, if you're going to make money on it. I'm not a fucking charity. So yeah, I want to order all those caps. I've got some floating around, but I by no means have the whole set. I'm nowhere near that lucky. So we'll see what I do have. And order what I don't. What a pain in the cap. I need to sort these out. I need a dedicated SMD cap holder because they're mixed in with other electrodes at the moment. Is there any 4.7s on there? One mic. Yeah, that's the next thing I've got to sort. It's a never-ending fucking battle, champions. 10 microfarad 35. Fucking 2 of them. 10 microfarad 16. What have I got? I've probably got enough there, champions. 10 microfarad 16. Yeah. Might be able to do all of them. Will you laugh at my something. 47 mic. Alright, we'll start with them. At least we can get one type done. I can order everything else. Don't have the big ones. MG, welcome to the club, brother. I'm assuming brother. Just going off the analytics, but it could be anything. My solution for Reticon, I think you mean Reticon chips, is I don't. They're no longer available. Yeah, yeah, you can't do anything with the Reticon chips. You find secondhand ones, or the new old stock will be fucked as well. It's not something, unless you got a massive waiver and you say to the customer, look, you put them in, they're gonna fail. Don't know when. Could be next week. Could be another fucking 10 years. But either way, I'm not responsible. I'll put it in for you if you want. Can charge you for the labor, but absolutely no warranty at all, because I don't have the opportunity to do it right because you just want it done wrong. But I'd rather just not do it at all. It's disheartening doing stuff that you know is going to fail. It's not fun. Yeah, these caps are worth nothing, man. It's all the labor. Got a block tiff from inactivity. Just hit it with a bit of alcohol. I think that dissolves it. Before I go using conformal, it becomes collectible, yeah. No, you can't adapt the Panasonic. Well, that was one of my things I was wondering about, Scotty. Can we make a daughter board in interacting? But you need other power rails and stuff, so you'd have to integrate like DC to DC converters on the board, and there's, yeah, the clock's different too. The input capacitance. Yeah, there's issues with it that make it, it's a challenge. You probably could do it, but it would be, yeah, probably prohibitively expensive. It has made me curious. Is there a chip out there that we can adapt to it? But fuck, at the end of the day, just buy a new one, eh? This is why pedal collecting is just nah. Not a fan of it. Alright, just looking with the loop. Okay, those pads are good. Those pads are not. That's crazy that it's just eaten the... It's worked its way from the outside in. I should get a microscope for you, champions, but I've bought enough gadgets for you. You can just fucking squint. Ooh, ASMR. Flash! More dollary dues. Or, freedom bucks. I guess I'll head over to my Sweetwater wish list and delete the 2C plus and Badlander. Yeah. For the price of them, man, you could have the real thing, eh? Give some Friedmans a try. See what you reckon. Or give a Angle a go. You don't want a oscillating fucking shit show an amp for $8 grand, man. Get something that's nice. Reticon was bought by a military contractor, really? Aren't they all? The only fucking industry that has any money flowing around in it these days. Killing people. Yeah, one of my customers bought a electric mistress. No, what is it? It uses a Reticon chip, electro harmonics pedal a while back, and he had a chip, and he found a chip on, I don't know, from a seller. I said, I can put it in if you want, but I'm telling you right now, it's a waste of money. Today he insisted, so I put it in, and it's still going. It's always like, whenever you give him the worst sort of news, it always proves you wrong. Alright, we tinned that. Just checked it. We've got no extra solder mask floating around there. I'm just going to pass a wire straight under that pad. I don't think there's any need to do anything more fancy than that. We'll have to angle it out a bit because where you access it to solder it, it's outside the footprint. So we'll sort of go a bit like this. Man, those tweezers are massive. So did you like Michelle's little cameo yesterday? She thought it would be funny. you asshole. Just squashed it. Alright, I think that'll do us. Just got the Friedman Jose. Oh! You ordered it or you received it? So for now, all I can do is tell. Oh, no. Yeah. Do you have a cab at all? Like, you don't have to use that cab. It's a bit like when you order if you order a camera body, sometimes it's worth just ordering it with the kit lens, just so you can play with it until your main lens turns up, because there's nothing worse than sitting there just staring at it, thinking, oh, I could be taking photos. Alright, so a bit messy, but does the job. Jose, it's a nice amp. We'll be happy with that one. You're talking about messes, and you already got a bloody Friedman on order. What are you doing? What are you doing? Alright, I think that'll get us out of trouble. It looks worse on camera than it is. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So that amp will probably work now, because we've gotten rid of the main issue with it, but we know that we're going to have to change all of them, so... And we're going to have to ultrasonic it too, because that residue is everywhere. Alright, so let's start doing the 6 method. And for every rip pad we get, we'll send 6 of, I don't know, Voodoo Doll of himself. Pushing down. Come on. Off she comes. Yeah, it's good if the base stays there, because you push down and theoretically the base should stay in place, and you're just twisting the leads between the base and the actual can. So the pads don't have any real mechanical stress on them. Well, you know, they're like the keyways, but it's not pulling upwards, is what I'm trying to say. Don't pull upwards. A bit like when you're using solder wick. If you feel any restriction at all when you're about to pull away, well, you need to reapply some heat. Oh, see that base just cracked in half. What was I saying? Yeah, if you're using solder wick and the wick's, oh, it just flew off into the low Earth orbit. If the wick's trying to stick to the board, if you move it, you're gonna lose a pad. You need to even when you're removing chips, if you're using the hot air gun, you need to wait till everything's nothing. You shouldn't be forcing anything. Never force your wick, all right? Hey, send the boards to me. I'm a master at it. I could send them to you, actually. Yeah, might do that actually, because this is fucked. Got our little feet there still, so I'll just go ahead and clean them up. They just stick to the soldering iron. Have you ever had to do this to this particular amp 6, the DT25, or you just don't look at them? I've had pretty good ones up until now. I haven't had one with a cap issue, so I'll be declining them from now on. Later, Tommy. Use your Oh, we've got a fight between Dad and Six now. Coming from the man who refuses to use the Variac. Well, he's never blown anything up here. Ooh. What am I using wick for? I'll just use the desolder gun. Sweet as. Drive them well blind. That's a bit what I'm doing right now. Flesh. I grew up on music that was done on Messers and modded Marshalls. Friedman can handle the modded Marshall tones, just leaving the Messer tones. But it's time to let it go. Damn you, Messer. I mean, you can get a Mark II C Plus or a Mark, you know what, a Mark III, because they're not worth as much, and you still get pretty close to that tone, in my opinion. And you can still get them for nowhere near as much as a Mark II C Plus. Spider valves. Even the Variaxes, they all end up with the leaky caps. Sucks, man. Can you even make any money fixing line 6 amps? They sell it here for like $100. I don't know, Scotty, because I'll just give them a price and I tell them, you know, do due diligence. It's probably approaching the value of the amp. And I advise against it, and they always go, no, go ahead with it. I'm like, I think there's a bit of a, people like repairing stuff instead of buying new stuff. I don't know. All I know is I just give them a price, I advise them against it, and they go ahead anyway. And if it's not a complete shit show, I'm still happy to look at it. But I mean, it's not the end of the day. End of the world. All right, so I'm going to appease everyone, so I'll appease Dad as well by using my hot tweezers. Ding, ding, ding. So I'm keeping everyone happy today. Normally I do the opposite. Sizzle, sizzle. Off she comes. Oop, that one re-stuck again. Sometimes they explode in your face too. Oh, and the BOFA. I've just got a whiff of hot electrolyte. Oh, that's all of them, I think. And that value. I don't like sucking that shit up into the extractor. So I'll just give it a quick dab. We all grew up on Metallica, yeah. Yeah, I sort of started getting into progressively heavier stuff. Started on like country music and then like the Shadows. Well, the Shadows and country music probably around the same time. Anything guitar based. And then I went up to like, you know, Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin. And went up to like Metallica and then like Megadeth and Suicidal Tendencies and Slayer and then fucking all the alternative stuff like Faith No More and I first heard the term tube amplifier. I was first aware of the concept of a tube amplifier thanks to would have been like 1997, 96 song by Presidents of the United States of America called Tube Amplifier. I got myself a little tube amplifier. It's large and lovely and it smells just like a dream. I'm like, what the fuck's that? I'm thinking it's like the sound that you get when you use a flanger or something. I don't know. I didn't know what the fuck it was. Wasn't even aware of the concept. Oh, I did see that about not Hull. Starts with an H. Hoy. Daryl Hoy from Valve Tone Amps passed away this morning. Yeah, it's sad. He's an Australian amp builder. Built some little cool little Fun amps. What's a comparison? I don't even. Is that a guitar? I've never seen one. Oh, this is not. So I've taken a lot of photos of this. Maybe I will make a list, check it twice, remove all the caps, and then to make sure I get all the electrolyte off, ultrasonic it while the caps are removed, wash that and bake it overnight, and then install the new caps on a nice fresh clean board. Japanese guitar builder. Alright. One of the first 5 songs I learned was Pipeline. Yeah. Good song to learn. I had a copy of the Ventures doing it. Oh, Mr. Leg there. Just been listening to ZZ Top all day today, as you could have guessed. When I realised Jesus just left Chicago sounds almost identical to Ride On by AC/DC, and then it turns out, yeah, that's what inspired them. They said it was like 2 years or a year earlier or something they released. ZZ Top released it before AC/DC. Dad taught me Apache. Yeah, it was such a good song. Shantae's version. Ah. Does the Bogner Alki leak like this too? I think it's got a whole bunch of other problems. I've been listening to Gorgasm. On your mate. How are you? Always bringing the extreme metal. And no, I'm happy with them being clean. Let's put some new caps on. Always removing schmoo from something. Yeah, that's why I say I'm a janitor with a soldering iron. There's no real thought process here. It's just mopping up after, in this case, the manufacturer. So this one's going to be fun. How am I going to get this in without messing it up? Wrong tweezer type. Remember, little pedal tweezers. I'll try them with half the time I compromise on what tool I'm using just because I don't want to get up and look for it. It's a massive pain in the ass. Seeing how it's going to sit. Yeah, that'll work. These tweezers are a bit easier at holding things like cap bodies, little duckbill things. Get a bit of flux on there again. A bit of happy flux. Think of it like Bill Ross. Hey, Bill? Was it Ross? Fucker. Need more solder. That's got him. Not the other side though. This is a fucking nightmare. I just can't get the terminal aligned on the other side. That's got it. It's on a bit of an angle because of the wire under it, but sweet. Mind you, I am just using a 1.6 mil tip. And that's done it. That was our problem cap. Where are we? Come on, Panny boy. You can do it. Just recheck continuity with ground, as well as in the areas where it was losing it before. Should go all the way from the regulator to that last pin. And indeed it does. Alright, and ground. Yes, it does. Alright, so we've got continuity where we did not before. I remember seeing Vigia or however you say it and thinking they were pretty amazing guitars. They're in the magazines back in the day. I had this blonde, like pale blonde one with purple mirror pick guard. Looked fucking amazing, but it was like 95, so. I think that's my favourite ZZ Top song so far now that I'm finally getting into them. Just got paid. I like the Francine opening riff too. I think that's probably my favorite album, Rio Grande Mud. But they did the stupid remix version. Sounds like ass. The original non-remixed 70s sounding one sounds fucking wicked. I love the dry 70s production, but I hate the 80s overdone reverb and stuff. It's cringe as fuck. Cheap Sunglasses. Yeah, that's another great riff, isn't it? It's probably, yeah, I'd say that's my favourite album so far. I don't like the cheesy 80s stuff. That's what turned me off them for so many years, I think. I thought all this stuff was like that. And I realised it was just their later stuff. Well, yeah, they're still going, so it's not later stuff, is it? Come here, little cap. I know you weigh nothing. I'm starting to shake. I should have had lunch. Fuck! You know I should have eaten. Can't do SMD while you're shaking. You have a protein bar or something to sort me out. Sweet. So I'll replace all these caps, then we'll just do a quick test and confirm that we've got signal, because if there's still issues, despite us fully returning continuity to that problem voltage line, then I might call it and just go, look, dude, it's not worth getting sentimental over. And we got 4 more. Right, this is going to be fun because they're right up next to each other. Ringwood Faux. Ooh, that sounds good. I like Vietnamese food, me. It's a bit off center. Okay, I'm really starting to shake now. I think I'm going to have to go and eat something. I was hoping Brad would want to get a bowl. What kind of bowl are we talking? Double checking my orientation. Sexually. It'd be cool by the time we got here. Are you you're in Victoria, Coldacre? I want to get down to Burwood and see the new like restaurant precinct they've got down there. Apparently it's pretty good, but probably overrun by people now that it's had a few restaurant reviews come out. Sweet as bro. Framing. I've got a little bit much solder on a few of them, so I'll just go and touch them up so it's not a ball of solder. Makes it really obvious that a ham-fisted dickhead like myself's been in there. So I'll just wick that off with the iron itself, get rid of the excess in the little iron cleaner. Do it again. Melbourne. That's just the sassy version of Melbourne. Popcorn. Alright, so we know there's going to be other caps on there that are shit, but let's plug this in and just test that rail's come good again. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. Let's just see if there's any other obvious issues that might be showstoppers. Just disconnect that mains board for a bit. It's a real bitch of an amp to test while it's apart. Well, you sort of can't, is what I'm saying. Just turn the tweezers off for a minute so I don't burn the tips. Don't want a burnt tip, do we? That's you today, not me. This ain't your dad's Fender, yeah. We fix everything, Scotty. We're not pickers and choosers around here, buddy. Well, we are, but it's not smart pickers and choosers. We're dumb ones. What's it like outside? Ah. It's a bit cooler today. Went for a nice walk this morning. I've been a bit stressed and stuff recently, so I've had to force myself to go get some exercise, go for a walk, and I went for a walk today with no earphones. I was raw dogging, just so I could listen to the birds and relax and not think about the fucking world. I love Melbourne. Melbourne's fucking my home away from home. I'd move to Melbourne. Wouldn't faze me. If it wasn't just as fucking expensive as Sydney. Or worse. Working on enough of them make a test harness, you could, but who the fuck would want to work on that many of them, Scotty? I've got a test harness thing for like 500 series modules to work on them outside of the rack, and that's quite handy, the extender. But for amps, you'd have to have one for this, one for the Grandmeister. Too hard. Just don't fix them. There's other ones there I can see are pissing out as well, but see, I don't like powering it up when there's electrolyte on the board, because it can leak and damage stuff further. We'll just do a quick test, see if we can get the signal out of it, and just see how much hope there is. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Wax my dolphin. No, that doesn't work. Can't do that like every half hour. Wax my dolphin. I've never heard it called that before. Fucking hell. What are you talking about? You're going to the dark side working on digital stuff. I've always worked on the digital stuff. Still ill-advised, but like I say, everything's a challenge until it's not. It's I actually enjoy these jobs quite a bit more than just restoration work, because you got to solve a little bit of a puzzle before you can do anything else. I find it quite engaging and not stressful at all. Yeah, I often, no, 100% honestly, I enjoy these kinds of jobs more than undoing people's fuckery and vintage fenders. Because I feel so much smarter when I solve it. It's not just grunt work, you actually got to use your brain pretty hardcore. And go through multi-page schematics and trace stuff and know what you know, tags mean and know what's going on. It's quite fun. Yay. That's a 12X7. That's yeah, EL84. Brains. A pinky and the brain. What are we gonna do tonight, brain? Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. Off. You gonna melt my meters? No, that's the beauty of silicon leads. Just get a meter there on the plate voltage as well, just so you can see when I kick it out of, well, you see the dissipation go, but $3 meters. Come in, spinner. Put that on there. Put these on milliamps. Put that on volts. Very good. Oh, DC. How. Ground clip. Watch it blow up in my face. So what is ZZ Top like these days? Are they like husks or are they still kicking ass? They must be getting on a bit. Or is it sort of like we used to be ZZ Top, now we're just random bunch of session musos and the one remaining member. All right, let's assume me that we're gonna have success. So I won't deafen the fuck out of myself and scare the piss out of myself by having all the volumes up. Also won't use a variate, because with digital circuitry there's no point. It won't kick in like it should, and it could cause other issues. That's what fuses are for, right, Dad? Fucking oath. In support of nothing new. Okay, so they're still touring. Dusty died. Yeah, I thought they're still touring. No, they're still, because you see them on, I see it. Not ads, but I see people posting about them all the time. Okay, think. 12240. Go into that one. There's glue on the fucking mains input. That's nice. Thank you, line 6. Got silicon and glue on fucking everything. Alright, here goes nothing. Blow a fuse. Nope. Clicks. There's another click that's suspiciously late. Wait for it. There it goes. Yeah, leave it be. It's a bit like that. I think they're a bit more lively than them from what I'm hearing. But maybe not much. I can understand it would get a bit frustrating because you want to keep playing fucking forever, but you can't, bro. Life. You can't have it all. Pass it on to the next generation. And you get some bands like the Angels who want to exist forever but just keep passing it down, so it's like a company. I don't know about that either. I think it's a bit weird too, if you ask me. All right, out of standby. Is it going to explode? Click. No current. What have I done? Oh, you know why? I'm plugged into the amps, so I'm on the wrong setting for the plugs, because before I had it on amperage. It'll still tell you the milliamps. Just click. Oh, and I didn't turn it to DC, did I? Fuck these meters. I keep getting confused. It's just me measuring shit wrong. But why was that voltage only 100 and something then? 170? Why is it only 170? It should be 200 and something. So we've got another problem now. Is it... If we're drawing 170, 169 and falling, but how are we still maintaining 16 milliamps? And we're still maintaining this. I think my measurements, I think I've got a bad ground there. Because that doesn't make sense. Because why would I have 18 millivolts still? Which is about what I was measuring before. We've got signal. Okay, so I'm doing something wrong with the way I'm measuring. Could it be the ground? No. Am I in low power mode? In pentode mode. Oh. I keep bashing my head on shit. No. So how are we maintaining, if that voltage is steadily dropping, class A, yeah, that's the same plate measurements I was measuring before, the plate currents. So there's no way that voltage measurement is accurate, because we wouldn't be drawing the same power from the wall as we were before. So I don't know, something funny's going on there with the way I'm measuring it. Maybe I haven't got the correct ground. But before, I think I was just clipped onto the chassis. I don't know, just ignore the voltage for now. I'm doing something stupid with my measuring. But point being, we got signal. We didn't have that before. So that's class AB. Sounds healthy. Let me just switch over to the mic, hang on. Alright, so I copped a bit of a buzz off the chassis then when I touched it. The chassis is directly grounded to the IEC lead. So I feel like there's something funny going on with the audio ground not being connected properly. Now it should be connected via that jack front panel there, but it's got a pissy little copper flap that's probably not doing the job. And I reckon that's whatever that is the audio ground's not connected to the main ground. Now I don't think it is connected via this PCB, but I'll double check that, because that little tingle I felt then didn't feel bad, but it was there and not good. So I think running this in a configuration like this with it apart where you take measurements, it's fucking not a practical way of doing shit. But proof of concept, we've confirmed that that was our main issue with the signal flow. We can continue to recap the rest of that board and do the other stuff and then carry on. Sucks, but it is what it is. It's either that or throw it in the bin. Well, that is a pain in the ass because we've got to order parts. Those EL84s look a bit overheated too. Alex, did you ask a question? Kaboom. Isolated ground. Yeah, I think that's what it was, Scotty. Isolated ground. I'm waiting for a Brad live stream. Hey, no, it's not a Helix, Rich. It's a piece of shit DT25. I mean, great concept, but yeah, nah, ship it. Get out the door, mate. No, every time I do that, Scotty, it comes back to bite me. So. That's interested in Rush as my ex-wife. Yeah, I never got into Rush. Alright, well, we're doing the annoying jobs. Get this vocal processor out of the way. Just got to replace the buttons, because two of them are starting to play up, so we're just going to replace all of them. And if you're in the market for replacement switches for this particular pedal, which is a VE20, here's the RS components code for you. There you go. Oh, look at the gut cam. It's good, isn't it? Non-Canadian drummers like sacrilege. I saw them on Trailer Park Boys. That was pretty funny. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fucking wire keeps unwinding itself. Fuck off, you annoying prick. Need to put rubber bands around them or something. I've got wire reels hanging up under the shelf. I think that was a dumb idea. I might take them off. They've only been there for 5 years. I used to have them at the old shop too. It's alright when you're building an amp, but when you're repairing, they're just a hindrance. 5 in a pack, and of course I needed 6. Boss didn't get the right to repair memo. Fucking no one did, Scotty. To be honest. Put the little tip back on. Oh, it's already on there. Sweet. I might go a bit of flux on these ones because it's the lead-free solder, which is a bit annoying. A bit hard to melt. fell out just as I wanted it to. Good stuff. Nope, didn't sit on that one long enough. Should take lessons from your mum. I used to chide my friends that only Canadian Rush had mahogany out front. What? I don't know anything about Rush. I'm an idiot. Too many notes, bro. Too notey. What was it, Lou Reed or someone said? 2 chords you're pushing it, 3 chords and now you're into jazz. What a fiddly fucking pain in the ass. Mahogany Rush. Oh, okay. Get out! Get out! Why the fuck are you stuck? Just got to plug a solder in there. Gotcha. Why am I working over the box? I thought it was still attached. Love being over the box. It's a bit dirty under there. A bit dirty over the box. I just realised. Give it a bit of a clean. Doesn't sound like ZZ Top to me. Hang on. Went on to fucking Bob Seger. I didn't ask for that. Had it on ZZ Top loop. Fucking YouTube music telling me what to listen to. So I put on Spoon instead. One of my favourite Texan bands. I like Spoon. I like Spoon, me. Skinhead. Alrighty then. I bumped my temperature down. That's what's going on. Sometimes I move the iron away and the lead's going over the knob, and when you pull the lead it goes over the top and turns the knob down. Oh, Brad, you silly duffer. Plus this grub screw is coming loose. Ginger. Yeah, I like ginger. Do you like high tension? I like high tension. She's got a killer fucking scream. Who did I see them supporting? I think they supported Suicidal Tendencies. No, yeah, it might have been Suicidal Tendencies. They supported someone and they were heavy as fuck, and I'm like, holy shit. I bought their record. I had to nurse their record for the rest of the night. It's one way to make sure I don't get up to no good and start jumping fences and running around. Just buy a couple of records and then you put all your energy into preserving their well-being. That's right, I had to solder an LED to remove the little cover piece. Knob control. You know it, buddy. Right, enough of this nonsense. Yeah, time for dinner. It is time for dinner. I'm here fucking working, mate. Enjoy your dinner, Cold Acre. Enjoy being in close proximity to the Collins Street Falcons as they mature and fledge. All I wanted was a Pepsi. See, Scotty, take it easy. Yeah, everyone's going to piss off. I'm going to piss off too after I do this. Just put it back together and test it. Give it a testy. Testy. One more out the door and 500,000 more to go. Fuck off, ribbon. You annoying asshole. Flux making the off-cut leads stick to my finger and then drop them on the circuit board and short something out. Yay. Where's my bin? Scotty, you going there? Suicidal Tendency lyrics were pretty fucking full on for the time. Just aggressively antagonistic. LED, where are you? You telling me I've lost the LED? Fucking serious? I didn't have a container, I just had stuff sitting in the... Oh no, I did have a container. Here it is. Here it is. Don't panic. I'm like, where are the screws? There it is. Cathode pointing up. This is really annoying. Get in your fucking hole. Why you gotta be a dickhead? Are you full of solder? Yes, you are. That's why. Fuck. Light up the ninja. I need to get the hand moving too. Gotta play more. Gotta play more, but I'm stuck here working all the fucking time, every waking minute. Alright, do we have positive clicks? Yes. Very nice positive clickiness. I actually got the switches that had the higher pressure, so it feels like you're playing a Game Boy. You can tell when you're pressing those switches. And that is the specification. The other one had about 1/6 of the actuation force, I believe they call it. See you, Scotty. The only other two which I didn't replace are the foot switch actuator ones, because they haven't presented issues, but they are limited naturally by the mechanism, so I think they're less likely to fucking break, but maybe I should replace them too anyway. Why not? Swatches. My God, you've got to stock so many parts to just make a living in this job. It's not even stuff that I inventory, it's just buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets of components, and you still never have what you need. Whinge, whinge, bitch, moan. That's the one. See you, Ghostface Griller. Oh, I don't know. Shout out to me. Oh, I thought you were saying see ya. Sorry. I'm losing my cognitive ability by the second. Good to see you, mate. I haven't seen you around for a while. What's happening? Just lurking or been busy? Killer name too, by the way. I think I've reminded you of that a few times, but Ghostface Griller. He's up there in the YouTube profile name quality. Because he's named after Ghostface Killer, get it? But he likes to grill. I get jokes. I get jokes. Afternoon, freak. Same to you. That's centered. Yeah, always working, mate. Still always behind. Customers still think I just sit around and do nothing all day. haven't you looked at my job? You've had it for like 2 weeks. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. I have to take it elsewhere. Okay, tell me where and I'll send them all there. Alrighty then, let's test this thing. I'll give it a quick clean first. Got the gooey flux that everything sticks to on the board. Boss VE20 vocal processor. For doing fucking creepy sounding harmonies and shit. I've never heard a harmonizer that sounds good. I wonder if fucking AI will fix that. Somehow I doubt it. That's really gross still. Need more wash cycles. Still got that HM2. I think so. I've got a bloody 1984 Floyd Rose too. I had no idea how fucking expensive they were. Had a bloke interested in it. And I don't even know where it came from. I think someone gave it to me. I've just had it for like 10 years, floating around in a box. I thought I'll put it on display, and then someone's like, "Oh, how much do you want for that?" I'm like, "Really?" And I looked them up, and they're going for like $800. I'm like, "What? What?" I guess people putting together fake original instruments with bits and pieces, and they want the real bridge to try and recreate a factory model out of bits. Questionable ethics. They sound awesome on synths. I guess it would just work like a wave folder on synths. They'd done. I'll just say screen name so people know who I'm talking to. Favorite is the Goto 9s. Yeah, that's my favorite too. It's so well machined and nicely made. The finish on it's beautiful. I really like the laser etched logo too. It looks really modern and cool. And the sort of beveled casting of the saddles looks really classy too. It's really nice. Oh, fuck it. Okie dokie. Rhythm and soul. I keep telling Shell I'm going to cook dinner and then I end up stuck here and she sorts something out and I feel bad. I was supposed to cook dinner last night and I was going to do it overnight. Slow cooker. And I didn't happen either. What is this shmoo? Gonna go for another walk or run tonight too, but I went for a walk this morning and now it's what, from 7 o'clock. If I do that I won't get home till 9 o'clock or 8:30. Just not fucking hustling enough, champions. I've got to work 18 hours a day. Yeah, that collar adjustment on the Floydies is, you can't get it tight enough, eh? It always loosens itself off. It's not sitting home. What's holding it up? Ah, the knob. Chris, what's going on, champ? Love SMD. Fuck. You should rewind a good hour or so, mate. That's SMD. This is nothing, just changing a few through-hole switches. SMD afternoon, you could say. A bit more stressful than a crafternoon. Hang on, if I do this, can I still get the other, or do they need to go in at once? No, they're okay. They've got elongated holes. Love watching things being fixed. I like fixing things, me. So much broken shit though. Sometimes you get a bit depressed when, particularly if something breaks in your personal life, because you fucking fix things for a living. And then when things start breaking at home, you're just like, fuck me. You just throw them in the bin and give them to someone. Too much innuendo. Cuddling with the cats. Twisting caps. Twisting the nipple. Rightio. So three more of those screws. Have I missed one? No. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's the third one. Okay. Alright, so it's pretty genius how they do this thing. That passes underneath. Does it? No. No, it passes over. It's got a little notch in the board. Yeah. So they fucking went all out with their 3D CAD on this one, I reckon. Because everything's got a reason for existing. And it all fits together just so. So these elongated holes mean you can slide the PCB back in order to get the jack and the switch through. In the process we'll get the XLRs as well. There's a little notch down there for the ribbon cable. It's nicely housed. Doogie houser. And everything sits just so. I've got to take that out to get that screw in. So the non-electroplated screws are internal. Because why would you bother colouring them black? before we go putting the whole thing together, actually, should there be a washer in there? No, it goes on the outside, that's right. Or does it? No, it should go on the inside. I'll have to take that board back out, but we'll just, I'll do that now. It's only 3 screws, Brad. It's only 3 screws. Must be nearly whiskey o'clock. Yeah. Try not to drink whiskey through the week, though. I do have a status quo pale ale with my name on it, though. Cold Acre sent me here. Ah, thanks, mate. He just left, I think. Could be lurking still, but welcome, Gary. What's going on? Gary Hubs. Does he? Alright, so I'm going to go home, I'm going to sit in front of the computer, and I'm going to order components. I'm not going to stop ordering components until I've ordered all the components in the world. And then we shouldn't have any missing components then, and I should be able to fix everything, so that's the plan. I'm too drunk to taste this chicken. Fuck, that sucks. Just eat some gruel. Why would you bother cooking something nice if you're shit-faced? Just eat some muesli and fucking yogurt. Or a piece of bread with some butter on it. I mean, like, generally, some foods taste way better when you've been drinking, like, fried chicken or pizza or onion rings. But if you're that fucked, you may as well just eat fucking protein slop. Soylent Green, you know? So glad I attract such a high-brow clientele. He who dies with the most components wins life. Yeah, that's what I say. And then your family throw it in a skip bin because they don't know what the fuck half of it is. And you wonder why you bother. Anyway, let's not get too existential. My drunk friends would make me gruel. You gotta have an egg on everything. I don't even eat egg, but I'll still probably eat an egg when I'm pissed. We have life with triple output power supply. So exit. Key. All the buttons worky. Why is the screen flickering? You guys see that? Fucking hell. It's like the backlight on this side's flickering, but that's internal to the display. Alright, all buttons worky. Yay! I cracked so many eggs as a baker, that was enough for me. But you don't eat eggs, Chris, because you crack them as a baker. Really? That's crazy. I suppose, yeah, it'd be like... So Michelle doesn't like the smell of pork roast or lamb. Anything roast meat, she fucking hates it. It's because she worked in a pub in Edinburgh for, I think like multiple years, a year or two. She became the manager at this pub, so... That all... Because in the UK, I believe you... is it legal you can shout the barman a drink over there? in the UK. You can't do that here. It's illegal. Australians can't be trusted with piss. Oh no, it didn't have a washer. So, point being, even staffies after work, they get on the piss after working. They'd all get blind. They'd lock up, and she was living in the pub, like upstairs, and she'd have to come down and open the place up first thing. And on Sunday, they'd have a roast dinner for all the pathetic local fucks that don't want to cook it themselves or don't have a family or whatever. That's a bit mean. All the people nearby who would come to the pub for a Sunday lunch or dinner, they call it over there, supper or whatever the fuck. So yeah, they'd wake up to the residual smells after a massive night on the piss of a roast that served the whole locality, and grew to hate that smell because it just associated with feeling sick when you're hungover the morning after being on the piss. Loose ribbon connection for the backlight. No, that's hardwired in, brother. Thank you for the concern, though. I think I'll be heartily shrugging that one off. Let's get this thing back together. Okay, your eyes go like that. You go like that. And you go over that. And you go in there. No, you go in that side. That side? That side. You plug into there, even though I probably won't bother because it's never used with the batteries, because that's a dumb idea. Sitting home? Yes. Why 4? You don't have a cutout for the DC jack. Stupid fuckers. Why 4 you not? Well, guess what? I have a pair of scissors. Sorry, framing. Alright, let's try that again. Okay, that's got a little locator. That's good. I should be able to put that over that. Get that edge in first. Put that there. And she clips into place. Sweet as, bro. Sorry I haven't had time to do any edited videos, champions. One day. Maybe. Maybe I'll just become the live stream channel to my 20 viewers. When I was a kid, my dad would microwave mushrooms for his breakfast before we got ready for school. The smell was so foul I couldn't even look at mushrooms without feeling sick until I was about 20. That is fucked. I'll completely back you on that one, Lucas. Microwave mushrooms, come on, man. Ugh, no, you need butter and garlic and beautifulness. And salt and pepper. And then they're like the best thing ever, if you do it that way. Microwaved, give his head a shake. Jesus. What kind of show are you running over there, champion? I didn't test the knob. Better check the knob. Shrooms for breakfast. No, shrooms for breakfast is normal, Dunny. They're everywhere. You go to a cafe, they got mushrooms. You get anything vegetarian? It comes with, you know, spinach, wilted spinach, fried tomatoes, mushroom, sometimes feta on top, bit of feta. What else? We've got a really nice cafe locally. We went there yesterday. Laughing Boy Cafe. By the river. I tell everyone I don't work on SMD. I still get a few a year when they beg. Haven't learned to say no. Feels good when I actually fix it. Not fun. My eyes aren't the best. Yeah. In high school, we'd get off the bus, pick magic mushrooms and eat them on the way to school. Holy fuck. You ate magic mushrooms on the way to school? You suddenly sound like a much more interesting character there, Chris. Alright, I'll give it one more test now we put it together. You never know, we might have pinched a cable or some shit. Let's try it out. Oh, I put the cable away, didn't I? Fuck. Yeah. Talking about the tripper snipper. Vocal performer. Alright. Knob worky worky. Hip hop harmonica. Fucking flickering display though. No, that's fucking not what he brought in for. I'll get the blame for it though, guaranteed. It's probably a fucking cap. It's just getting to the point where everything this age just needs to go in the bin, man. Like, don't know what to tell you. Okay, I'll spend 6 hours on it instead. Give us some vocals. Oh, fuck. I've got a mic lead handy. I certainly do. Plug the 57 into that. Knock over everything in the process. $57. Hey, yeah. Everything's caught on everything. Fucking annoying. I'm assuming it doesn't have a phantom power. It's got a headphone out. Hey yeah, hey yeah, hey yeah. What's that caught on? You can't move anything around here. Hey yeah. Testing, testing, hey yeah yeah. Testing, hey yeah yeah. Testing, hey yeah yeah. Bypass. Hey yeah. I've got no way of knowing how this sounds without getting my earphones. Let's have a listen. Hey yeah. Hey yeah. Bypass. Exit. No. How do I unbypass? Holy. You. There you go, champ. Hey. That sounds so good. Hey. Hey. Oh, that's creepy. Hey, hey. How's that sound? All right, pitch correct. I don't know you can do that.
Hey, what up? I'm gonna... Baby, I'm gonna butter your bread. I will never work on line 6 in the rest of my life.
Hey, empty. That's me. Harmonica, cathedral, arena. Hey, jazz, rock, oldies, ballad, pop, hard rock.
Robot.
So there you go, champions. I'm going to piss off and try to remember what it's like to not be at work. So until then, take it squeezy. See you on the next one. It's a bit noisy.